Say that again. It's the son of who?
Ishmael. We're Arabs.
All right, all right.
God said we're going to create a great nation.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises and double honors due to Yahweh B'Shem HaMashiach Malak Yahushai. Secondly, Brother Yardan, W5 Detroit coming back at you with yet another cold cut, right? So before I dive into this video, I want to give a warm salute and welcome to the men, women, and children that are laboring day in and day out. And by labor, I mean present your body a living sacrifice, praying, reading, studying, and fasting. May the Lord continue to watch over you and your family and household for all those who are scattered throughout the four corners of this world. With that being said, I'm going to dive into this video. And this video is predicated upon a random so-called random Ishmaelite confessing something, right? Now this Ishmaelite in the car while we're teaching, he drives by and says, "We are the sons of Ishmael." He says, "We are the son of Ishmael," right? The Arabics are Ishmaelites. And he started quoting something, and it was something in the Bible. And the reason why this is important is because this narrows the confusion of who's who in the scriptures. Because now a lot of biblical scholars, Christians, a lot of people toss the Bible to the side because they just don't know who's who. Well, hold up. The Spirit bears witness. The Spirit bears witness with the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that we're the true Israelites of God. Now, not only can that be backed up by history, but it's also within the Bible, which is, mind you, also a historical book. One can consider it to be. So with that being said, I want to bring out the Table of Nations in Genesis chapter 10, verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. So this is the situation and account after the flood, where Noah and his sons are on the scenes. Now, Noah, like we just read, had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Shem is the progenitor of the Israelites, right? He's the great-grandfather of the Israelites. Then you have Ham. He's the progenitor of the African race, not the Negroes. And then you have Japheth, you understand? Which are the Hawaiians today. And also out of the Shemites come many other nations, such as Esau, Moab, so on and so forth. So let's fast forward, right? In Genesis, that was Genesis 10, but in Genesis 11 and 12, you have Abraham jumping on the scene. And Abraham is our forefather, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? Who is their descendant? Shem, which means name. So let's continue. Let's fast forward to Genesis 25. Folks, like before we get that, let's go to Genesis, if I'm not mistaken, chapter 19. Bear with me. Just slipped my mind. 16, that's what I wanted. Genesis 16. This is where Ishmael comes on the scene. Now Ishmael also, he descends from Shem, which makes him a Shemite, or as some may say today, Semitic. So not only is he a Shemite, but also the so-called blacks. We are considered Shemites as well. Even the Edomites, the so-called white man, he is considered Semitic. He's a Hebrew, believe it or not. Esau is a Hebrew, but we are Hebrew Israelites. You have Hebrew Israelites, you got Hebrew Edomites, or if you want to be technical. But being a Hebrew doesn't make it just, that's not the end all be all, just Hebrew only. No, you have to be a Hebrew Israelite. You have to be a Hebrew Israelite. You understand? To receive the promises, the glory, the adoption, and everything that is holy and given to us. And so this is where Ishmael is put on the scene. Genesis 16, let's go up a little bit. 16:1. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto thy maid, it may be that I may obtain child by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. Now, for the sake of time, jumping down, we find out that his name shall be called Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. Now, does that mean that now the Ishmaelites, they receive the wisdom and the glory and the power? They're going to be partakers of us in the kingdom of heaven. They're also going to be ruling with a rod of iron, with the morning star. That doesn't mean that, right? A blessing from the Lord doesn't equate to salvation. Esau is blessed with the sword. Does that mean he's going to be in the kingdom of heaven on the same level as us? So let's go to 2nd Esdras. Now, another thing you have to know about the Ishmaelites is that they're a wild man. They're pretty crazy. Let me go to the other one. (17 and 20). And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. Now, I couldn't get all the footage or video, but that's exactly what happened with Ishmael. That's exactly what happened with Ishmael, and that's exactly what he said earlier. And will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. You understand? So we're going to bit into Ishmael's character and his blessings, a bit of background and brief history. And we have a witness. The Lord said, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my, well, not that verse specifically, but we understand that the Lord and the law states that, you require 2 or 3 witnesses for a matter to be established. And there was 3 of them in the car, if I'm not mistaken. And they just did a drive-by saying, we are the sons of Ishmael, right? Abraham and Isaac. Let me get the other one. Genesis 16 and 12. And he will be a wild man, his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And he is a wild man. He's known for blowing himself up. You understand? He's known for riding the camels. He's known for beating his woman. He's known for being with, under the banner of Islam, they're known that it's permissible for you to be with a 9-year-old, like Aisha, according to the hadiths. All right? But, that's the proof in the pudding. But with that, Israel is edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. With that, Shalom.